Hi, I'm Neil. I just wanted to address why in my last video I deliberately chose not to include logical arguments as a means of changing your state. So, first off, are you blue? Don't be down. Look at the things that are right in your life and be grateful for what you have. Remember that people care about you. And also, there are people in other countries that have far less than you do. Things will get better. Don't let the sad things get you down. Don't worry about the things you can't change. That's a problem for tomorrow. This is life. Time will tell. It's in the past. You will get over it. It could be worse. It was meant to be. Keep a stiff upper lip. What's done is done. Get on with your life. Things will work out. Time heals all wounds. Tomorrow's another day. One day at a time. At least you're not homeless, sick, dead, deformed. Things will work out in the end. Everything happens for a reason. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You aren't as bad off as you think. And if you are, then don't think about how bad off you are. And if you must think about how bad things are, then at least don't feel bad about it. All right. Do you feel better? Well, I can't imagine why. I have given you perfectly cogent reasons to stop feeling the way that you do. And defiantly, you still choose to feel unfulfilled, lethargic, angry, and gloomy. Perhaps you're just being stubborn. Or perhaps there's a few things that regulate emotions beyond just telling yourself what emotion is most logical. Last time I talked about how to enter any state that you prefer and noted that it's not quite as fulfilling as it sounds, though it is a great tool. If you want to learn more about that, check out part 1. The first obvious thing happening here is that you might have a legitimate grievance. If you are unhappy with your weight, it's not necessarily a matter of body dysmorphia. You might actually need to lose some weight. Nutrition and exercise program is probably what's called for in this situation, not necessarily trying to force yourself into denial. The second issue here is that chemicals are at work. Even people who are the strongest advocates for large logical arguments against unproductive emotions admit that systems do not work in the presence of drugs. Drugs are extended into sex and violence since there are biological chemicals that result from having sex or getting physically beaten. And I would argue that all emotions have chemical roots, even if we do not understand them. And this is why we medicate clinical depression, rage, anxiety. It would be naive to assume that any of your emotions are not linked to chemical cocktails that your body has produced, whether it is a result of improper or proper functioning. And this means that even if I give you a perfect argument for you to be content with your situation, you might be fighting your body's predetermined drive to make you feel something else. And this is why currently the very best solution to emotional disorders is diet and exercise, which allows your body to return to a chemical hormonal state where it can maintain your mood and thoughts in a more appropriate and regular manner. To better understand the powerful effect that diet and exercise have on your mood, I very strongly recommend the book Spark by John Ratey, R-A-T-E-Y, which is on eBay and can be purchased for significantly less than a bag of dirt. Yes, it is literally cheaper than dirt. Third, as I talked about in the last video, the way that you feel at any particular moment is not necessarily a reflection of your progress. We manage our state to navigate the world and improve our lives, not as a goal in itself. Obviously, if a person's emotions are totally out of control, 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, that has to be addressed before any functionality can be returned. But once you are in the functional range where you can have a coherent conversation about the specifics of your situation, it may be more helpful to use that window of calm to find solutions. Those solutions could be things like deep breathing and exercise, or it could be finding meaningful solutions to complex problems that were too difficult to work on when emotions were high. If you are able to find solutions to problems that it is a logical argument for feeling right will come naturally later. This is why if your spouse is irate, you should never, ever tell him or her that he or she is being illogical and irrational. It's just pouring gas on the fire. If, however, you tell the same person that you have some solutions that you want to go over, that same person will magically calm down and find ways to make things better. None of this means that logic does not have a place in emotional stability, long term or short term. This is about understanding that people's emotions are based on several factors that have to be addressed, and logic may be the least important. We know this instinctively. When we see a person that is out of control, screaming and crying loudly, the first thing we do to calm the person down is with a state change. Then we learn the problem and address the problem, and then much later, we can go over whether or not certain emotions were justified, and we can consider what form of state management can be used in the future. And I hope that you do look into why you feel what you do and how to improve it. You will be feeling emotions for the rest of your life. Your friends and family will be having emotions. It's in your best interest to get good at recognizing and managing them, using the right tools for the right situation, recognizing that there is a difference between using your emotions as a tool to have a rich, fulfilling life and manipulating your emotions to merely feel fulfilled while you are becoming more miserable. I hope this helps someone. I'm Neil with Receptive Skepticism Bremerton. If you want to meet me and my friends, link is down in the Fadamada. If I missed something or got something wrong, go ahead and comment down below in a respectful manner. And feel good. Whatever you're doing, it will always be better if you feel good.